Welcome back, you beautiful people. Welcome to 2022, where we are taking a look back at what happened in 2021, as well as what I predicted would happen, as well as what some of the other major brokerages in the area predicted would happen in 2021, and what actually happened, what transpired in 2021, as well as what we think is going to happen in 2022. So we'll get into all of that in a second. As always, if you haven't liked or subscribed to this YouTube page, feel free to do it. The link for our website is in the description below. If you want to go back and look at some of the other predictions going all the way back to 2017, those will be down below as well. And always, of course, I'm a realtor, so if you'd like to book a private consultation to talk about buying or selling or investing in real estate, click on the calendar link below and book your own private consultation around your own time. Feel free to share this with any friends who are thinking about moving or want to talk about real estate in Ottawa. So let's just jump into it. What we look at is we look at both the inventory, the sales, and the price increase. Okay, so my prediction for last year was that the inventory was going to hit a maximum number of 2,000. The sales would be at about 19,000, and the price would go up by 25%. The other brokerages in the city predicted that the price would go up by 7% or 5.5. They don't do as deep a dive into what the particulars are. The reality of the situation is we actually had a higher inventory level than I expected of 2,155. The sales were about 1,300 more than what I was expecting, but the price went up by 22%. It was a lot closer to the number that I predicted than what some of the other people were thinking. Now, if we get into breaking it down, residential versus condo, this starts to tell a different story. Okay, now of course the inventory at 1,500 max, the sales at 14.5, and the price by 30%. I was a little bit wrong about the pricing going up on the residential properties. I thought that it would have to do with the bigger homes being sold, and indeed that was the case, but we didn't hit the same number that I thought that we might. The reality was the inventory you can see there, 1,607, the sales were higher at 15,318. I thought a lot more sales would happen off market simply because of the uncertainty of the market and the potential for selling a property using what we call exclusive listings because of people not wanting other folks to come into their home during COVID. On the condo side, the prediction here was 500 max condos available, sales at 4,500, and the price going up by 10%. I was offset by the price going up by 16.1%. So I didn't expect it to jump that high on the condo side. The sales, you can see there, pretty close to the same. We should hit over that 5,000 mark in 2022, but we'll get into that in a moment. The inventory, again, pretty close to what we said. So again, not a lot of inventory. Similar types of predictions as we move forward into 2022. Of course, we can't talk about 2022 without talking about a few things. First of all, interest rates, and just let me put it out there. There's not the same relationship between interest rates and house prices that people seem to think there is. The interest rates have an effect on affordability, but it doesn't have the same effect on house prices. What has an effect on house prices is supply, how much inventory there is, and demand, how many sales there are. And that's the reason that we get into looking at these two things. And we do a deep dive. We'll look at separation between the residential side and the condo side, and the reason for that is to paint a bigger picture about what's going to happen on the combined side. So in 2022, the brokerages are calling for either a 5% or a 9% growth, the inventory at 2,000 max, and the sales my prediction is that the price will go up actually by 14%. The number of sales will go up to 21,000, and the inventory will not, again, I'm saying the same thing as I said last year. I don't think the inventory is going to jump up above that 2,000 number, that threshold. And just for context, in the busier years in 2017, we were seeing amount of inventory close to 10,000, okay? On the residential side, we're looking at inventory at 1,500 max, the sales at 16,000, and the price on the residential side to go up by 12%. And you're saying, whoa, hold on a second, Sean. You're saying the residential price is only going up by 12%, but the average price in the market is expected to go up by 14%. That doesn't make sense. Now, residential accounts for about 75% of our market. The condo world accounts for about 25% of our market. But I do believe that the prices on condos are going to go up more this year. And the reason I think that is because the condos are appealing to the entry-level price point, where you used to be able to get a townhouse in Ottawa in one of the suburbs for $350,000 or $400,000. Now they're getting close to $650,000, $750,000, in some cases $8 and $9. It won't be long before we sell, and we might have already, $1 million townhouse. in Ottawa. Okay, let that one land. That is a lot of townhouse, or at least a lot of money for a townhouse. But that's what Toronto has. And this is where we're going. And if you look at what happened, you can see that 5 years ago, Toronto was selling average price point of townhouses about 700. Well, that's where we are now. Okay, so we're I guess 5 years or so, 5 to 10 years behind where Toronto is, and it gives us a really good indication of where we're going to go. Okay, so inventory on the condo side, again, I don't see it hitting over 500. The sales about 5,000, very similar. We'll likely crack that mark, and the price point to go up by 18%. So there's some other things that are going on in the world right now in terms of the interest rates and people talking about the interest rates changing. Different international uncertainties that are going on. All of those things will have a micro effect, but again, the most important thing is supply and demand. Okay, that is the last piece of the puzzle which drives values for properties in Ottawa. We are very much an insulated city in Ottawa. If something happens in internationally, it might not have the same effect here that it might in some other places. So if you'd like to talk about how all of this might affect you, if you're thinking about buying, if you're thinking about selling, or if you're considering investing, which a lot of people are doing these days, please feel free to reach out. Like I said, there's a link below, on a Calendly link that you can schedule your own private consultation. Happy to go through that with you. My team and I are always happy to discuss what's going on and how it will affect you and your family and your personal wealth. As always, feel free again to reach out by phone, the old school method. You can call at 1-888-REAL-585. And until then, keep it real, collective.